Okay, we're going to do two of these the long way and one of them the easy way. Okay, we need to find the range given the domain. So what we're going to do is draw parentheses for our x and plug in these numbers. So the first one we're going to plug in is a -2. -2 squared is a +4. A -4 times a -2 is a +8, and then I got a +3. If I combine that, I get 14, don't I? So that's my first domain value. Then I'm going to do it again and plug in -1. This takes a long time to do it by hand. -1 times -1 is a +1. This will be a +4, and that'll be a +3. So 1 + 4 + 3 is 8. The next one, 0. If I plug in 0, I'll get 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 3. These are just going to turn into 0. I'm going to get 3, aren't I? That's going to be my y-intercept in it. If I plug in 1, 1 squared plus minus 4 times 1 plus 3, that's going to be 1 minus 4 plus 3, that's going to be a 0. And then plug in 2. 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 3. This is going to be 4 minus 8 plus 3. 4 plus 3 is 7, and 7 minus 8 is a -1. So this would be a -1. So my range would be 14, 8, 3, 0, and -1. That would be my range. Which one would be the 0? The 1 gave me a 0, so the 1 would be a 0. Fun stuff. Okay, let's go to this one. We're going to plug in 0 first. So 0 squared minus 5 times 0 plus 6. Zeros cross out. All that's left is 6. Plug in a 1. 1 squared minus 5 times 1 plus 6. This is going to be 1 minus 5 plus 6. 1 minus 5 plus 6 is 2 in it. You're going to add up the 1 and 6 to get 7. 7 minus 5 is 2. Now we're going to plug in a 2. 2 squared minus 5 times 2 plus 6. 2 squared is going to be 4. -5 times a +2 is a -10, and then 6. Okay. And then let's see, 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. This right here is going to be a 0 in it. So 2 is going to be a 0. Then I need to plug in 3. 3 squared minus 5 times 3 plus 6. This 3 squared is going to be 9 minus 15 plus 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. And guess what? 15 minus 15 is also 0. So 2 and 3 are zeros. And then we're going to plug in 4. 4 squared minus 5 times 4 plus 6. 4 squared is 16 minus 20 plus 6. That's going to turn into 22 minus 2 is a 2. So my range would be these numbers. And the 2 and the 3 would be my zeros. Now then, we're going to do this problem with more power. Okay, I got my calculator. Can y'all see the calculator? Yep. Okay, I'm going to go to graphs, which is B. Okay, I got a clear graph, and I'm going to graph this. So I'm going to go to Menu, Graph, 1, and I got my equation up here. Now I'm going to type in x squared minus 6x plus 5. Make sure it checks before you hit yes. It does, so hit enter. So I have my graph. Now then, I need the answers for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to hit Menu, Trace is 5, so hit the number 5. Graph trace 1, hit 1. And right here at the bottom is your answer. So if I plug in 0, I get what? 5. So my 0 is going to give me 5. Now then, I need the 1. All you got to do is type in 1 and hit enter. Then look right here. If I put 1 in, I get 0 as my answer. So 1 is going to give me 0. 1 is going to be a root in it because it gives me an answer of 0. Now then, I'm going to plug in 2. So hit 2 and enter. And 2 gives me an answer of -3. So 2 gives me an answer of -3. These numbers right here are my range. Now then, I'm going to plug in 3. 3, enter. 3 gives me what? -4. and then I need to plug in 4. So I'm going to hit 4 and enter, and 4 gives me, oh, this will be -4. 4 gives me -3 again. So these numbers right here are my range, and the 1 would be a 0. A little bit quicker if you graph it and just trace to these numbers.